Hey everybody, this is Wendy from Wendolonia, and I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of my Color Factory Traveler's Notebook. I went to the Color Factory last April with my friend Kim, and we took, 10 million pictures, I think. A lot of pictures. And they were great. I mean, basically, it's just a place you go to take pictures of cool things and yourself and your friends. So we had so many selfies, I just decided to make an entire album devoted to the day. So the first thing I did was I decorated the cover, and I wanted to get lots and lots of color in, so I used different colored stickers for all of them. And then I put a sprinkle of bright, cheerful stickers from Amy Tangerine all around it as well. So let's dig in to the actual album though. This was not set up. I did not set this up in chronological order. It's a little bit chronological. The beginning and the end sort of are, but the middle section I decided to do a rainbow. So just so you know. So this opening page, this was one of my favorite pictures that I took that day, and I actually used this as the as my profile photo on almost all of my social media at this point. So this was in front of the elevator doors. I was sitting down so that I could get my head right in the middle of that burst. And so when I put it in here, I surrounded it by lots of transparencies and things like that. So lots of bright color on this page. And then this is sort of the title page. It's my friend Kim in front of the sign that says Color Factory, and she made her arms into a Y. So lots of bright colors to start. These are a few of the photos from when we first got into the museum. This is on the steps going down in there, and this is in the entryway. This is the first room, both of these. So they had cameras set up throughout the museum at different places, and they would have a little sign that said stand here, and then it would take your picture. So you, I don't remember exactly how it worked, but you kind of like associated an email address with the ticket purchase address or something, and then you scanned this card so they knew that they were pictures of you when you took the photos, which was pretty darn clever. There were little treats scattered throughout. The first room had these little macarons on a conveyor belt. And so this is actually a video print using my printer, and it's pretty cool. You can see it kind of go through the, you can see the things move. And I was very good, and I only took one because you weren't supposed to take more than one. But I really wanted a whole bunch of them because they're yummy. Okay, so now we're starting to get into the specific color rooms. So this room is black. It actually was one of the first rooms. And the walls were black striped. So I added a lot of black iconography and papers and washi tape. And then they gave us black charcoal lemonade. So it was jet black. It just tasted like lemonade though. Nothing weird. This is my least favorite page in this whole album, and it's possible I'm gonna go back and redo it. I tried to hand letter pink bathrooms. Looks terrible, not happy with it. So the bathrooms were 100% pink, and then all around the walls at head level, just above head level, were all these funny quotes like silent but deadly, beans, beans, there's such a magical fruit, but percussion. I know this looks red, but it was pink. It was just the lighting in the room. So some of the rooms, it was hard to get good photos because the color of that room permeated everything, and it sort of tinted the actual photos. So yeah, I might redo this one. Haven't decided. I love this page. One of the things about doing this album is that I pulled a lot of materials out of my stash that have been in there for a really, really long time. And this paper I've just been dying to use. I've been saving it for something cool, and I finally just decided to use it today. This is flocked. It's like velvety. So the paper is just smooth, but then this is velvety polka dots. I love this paper. I just want to touch it. So the page is very simple. It's not that exciting, but the paper is cool. And I just sort of wanted these two photos to stand out. So Kim posed under this red neon happy face with a big smile. And then I posed with a big frown. It's our little joke. So this was just in a stairwell. There were all kinds of cool details like that all over the color factory. Next, we have the orange page. And I just have some photos of us in there. And then I said, "Orange, you glad you went to the color factory?" I'm a funny, funny lady. The yellow room. The yellow room was my second favorite room in the entire color factory. It had a gigantic ball pit full of these yellow balls. I mean, it was huge. I don't even know how big it was. It was like the size of a real swimming pool. And they were about 2 feet deep, maybe a little deeper than that. You could really sink down into them. And so this is one of the photos that they set up so you could lay down in the balls and scan to take the photo. So that's one that I took. And then a couple of these are all print photos too. So there are movies with them. And a funny joke, kindly refrain from peeing in the ball pit. Just silly. Okay, next, the green room. The green room was actually painted white, and it had some sort of green iconography on the walls, and then it had these gigantic magic markers, and you could use them to color things in or write your own name or something like that on the wall. So that was kind of fun. You'll see that I took a lot of these pictures where it's just sort of my eyes with something above my head. It's just a little running theme through the whole book. And oh, and this was a postcard. You could pick a postcard at the end of the museum to take home. So I got the green one. Next, the blue balloon room. We weren't actually in this room very long because it was crowded and only a few people could be in at a time. So we kind of mostly went in and took photos, and then people came in behind us and kind of crowded us. And so we were like, we have to leave because we were too claustrophobic. So we took some of the pictures, like I said, but this page was one where I just kind of went to town, and I used up a whole bunch of stickers and die cuts. I learned this technique from Heba at My Little Journal. I love it. I learned it in one of her big picture classes, and basically she just puts down a million die cuts and stickers, and it's a way to kind of use up some of your stash, and it looks really eclectic and fun, and I think it's really cute. So I liked this page, even though it's funny, I hardly even remember being in this room at the museum, but I love this page. Okay, so next was my actual #1 favorite room at the museum, and that was the confetti room. I loved this room. And so to decorate this page, I put confetti all over it. So some of this is actual tissue paper that was very similar to what was in the room. And some of it was is just washi tape, clear, plain washi tape that I put down. I like how it looks. You can see in here, there was one place where the confetti kind of fell down every now and then. And that was one of those professional pictures that you could take. But then also you could just grab gigantic handfuls of confetti and throw it up in the air. And so we did that a lot. That was really fun. We spent a lot of time in here. We actually made like snow angels, but in the confetti on the floor. And it was a lot of fun. We were in this room for a long time. So next was the selfie room. And I wrote here, you know, I mean, really, the whole museum is a selfie room, but especially this room, I guess. So the reason this was the selfie room was it had these printers, and it was constantly printing out photos that people took onto this kind of purpley paper that were hashtagged Color Factory on Instagram. And so then it would cut them off and they'd fall on the floor. So that's why the floor is all covered with these purple pieces of paper. And someone made this cool like pattern in the floor, and you could throw that up in the air too. And I picked one up to bring home. It was way off from, so we tried taking a selfie in the room and seeing if it printed out, but apparently it was hours behind schedule because of how long it took to print the photos and how many people were taking photos and tagging them Color Factory. So this is some rando girl. I have no idea who she is, but she's immortalized in my traveler's notebook forever. Okay, another favorite room was the disco ball room. So you can kind of see the ceiling was this grate that had just like a bazillion disco balls hanging down. And then the floor was sparkly like that. So some of these are us laying on the floor, and then some are us taking selfies with our camera down below and like looking up at the ceiling. So I put this crazy, I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, you can. I put this sort of like disco paper down. No idea where I got it, had it in my stash, and what more perfect use could there be for this? And I also had these iridescent stickers that you can, I don't know if you can read them, but they say disco room. So this is a fun page. I quite like this page. I used all kinds of sparkly things on it that I don't normally use in my scrapbooking. So next was the ribbon room. This room had just a million multicolored ribbons hanging down from the ceiling, and I tried to reflect that in the paper that I used. And so you could walk around in the ribbons and like you'd bump into people and stuff. It was kind of funny. But you could also, we took some fun videos where we put our hand, we stood just inside the ribbons, put our hands, and then we stepped out and stepped back in. So these are videos that I can scan. I think I'm gonna add these in to the video. I think I'll record them and add them in. Then there was the giant light bright room. So they had all these big colored pegs, and you could pull them out and put them back in and make designs. We made like a heart. It was fun. We had a lot of fun in there. And then finally, the last room we went to was, or one of the last rooms was the chapel. And so all the windows, it had this row of windows, and they all had color film on them, and it made these beautiful like light patterns on the floor. And the museum was so hot, because it was crowded and we were just drenched with sweat. So this was a place where we sat down and we cooled off for a few minutes and took a break between the confetti room and the purple room. And that's it. I just ended with bright rainbowy paper, plain on the back, and that's what I did. I called it done. I've had this sitting around in my to-do pile, partially completed since probably May, and it's October now. And so I finally, today, I just was like, I'm just going to knock this baby out. And I'm so glad I did. I'm so happy with it. I love the rainbow that, you know, that goes through it and all the crazy pages and accessories. I think it's really fun. So this is one that I'm going to enjoy for a long time. Not that page, but there you have it. My Color Factory Traveler's Notebook. So if you liked this video, I would appreciate it if you could give it a thumbs up. If you really liked this video, maybe you'd consider subscribing to my channel. I do paper crafts, scrapbooking, cards. Sometimes I do some bento stuff or food stuff, fun lunches for kids. And occasionally I'll do some parenting things as well. So that's the kind of thing you could find on my site and on my YouTube channel rather. And I'd love it if you came and hung out with me. Thanks a lot.